If 1972 was the year of Pong, then 1973 was the year of Pong copycats. Five of the 6 top-selling games in 1973 were all Pong variations, with the top-selling game being Pong itself. Considering we've already covered Pong in this series, by default, today's episode will be covering the number 7 top-selling game of 1973, Gotcha. Nolan Bushnell's and Ted Dabney's Atari continued to dominate the gaming market with their success of Pong, but in 1973 they started to make attempts to separate themselves from the competition, first with the less successful Pong doubles and then Space Race, and then finally along came Gotcha. Released in October 1973, Gotcha saw 2 players move through a maze which continually scrolled and updated. One player would play the pursuer and would attempt to catch the second player, the pursued. Each round is timed, but only the pursuer has the ability to score any points. The game's sound effects were an ear-drilling beep that increased as the pursuer closed in on the pursued. Similarities have been drawn to an increasing heart rate. Here's a sample. The game cabinet was created by Atari product designer George Farrico and may mark the first instance of women being objectified and sexualized for video game sales. Farrico attempted to redesign the classic arcade joystick after jokes were being made about its phallic resemblance. These new joysticks were encased in plastic domes, which Farrico later admitted didn't have bumps on them or anything, but the way they were the size of grapefruits next to each other, you got the impression of what they were supposed to be. The gameplay and redesign inspired the subsequent advertising for the game, where a scantily clad woman is being chased by a man, with the console itself phasing through her body. Taking into consideration the product's design, advertising, one-sided gameplay, scoring, and sound effects, Gotcha really just starts looking like patriarchy in a box. However, a limited run of coloured versions of the game are believed to be the first ever coloured arcade games, and it's also credited as the first ever maze-based arcade game. Gotcha didn't really see success like its predecessor Pong and eventually faded into obscurity with only around 3,000 units sold. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, no emulated or remade versions of this game exist online, so this is the first game in a very long series that I will not be able to play for myself. For now, Gotcha's legacy only lives on in gaming museums and private collections, leaving it where it probably belongs, in history. After the waning success of Pong and its successors, Bushnell and Dabney would have a falling out after Bushnell allegedly started diminishing Dabney's role in Atari. No matter the cause, the disagreement would see the end of the duo, resulting in Bushnell purchasing Dabney's share of Atari for $250,000 at the end of 1973. Given its poor market performance and sexist undertones, I would not be giving Gotcha a Golden Year award, but it still will be shelved as the top game of 1973. I hope you learned as much as I did when researching for this video. If you would like to check out some more Gotcha gameplay, I will have some recommended videos down in the description. If you think you can guess what the top game of 1974 will be, make sure to leave it in the comments below before the next installment of Game of the Year.